the threats to multilateralism and really what it means for shifting world order following the impact of USA tariff imposition and the global trade war developments as well. Really, what happens next for the continent and the globe? Amine Idriss Adoum, the African Union Development Agency NEPAD Director, joins us for more. Amine, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the SABC at this hour.
Good morning, Lisa. Thank you for having me with you on the stage.
I mean, it's been a very busy week, to say the least. We have seen announcements coming left, right, and center. Geopolitics is shifting. It's nuanced, it's contradictory, it's disruptive. Talk to us a little bit more about how it's going to be impacting Africa. What is your reaction regarding these announcements at large?
I think we will be impacted, but contrary to what actually people may think, the impact may be minor. First, because US is not the top trading partner for Africa. That's number one. And then number two, specifically with regard to AGOA, though this mechanism have been there for about 25 years, only few countries have been deeply actually involved in countries like Lesotho, like Kenya, South Africa, Mauritius as well, to some extent. Therefore, there will be impact, but the impact won't be necessarily as tough as one may think, definitely. However, now, if you leave the tariff issue and you move into the reform of the development as intended, development financing as intended by President Trump, that with the US aid disruption and the fact that the US is leaving some of the multilateral, international organizations and stop actually financing them, that would have an impact, at least immediately, in some ongoing projects in Africa.
So for your future work on economic development, trade, industrialization, even just tourism and minerals at large, I mean, we're now looking at possibilities and probabilities that lie ahead. African agency as well, how can it be held for the development of its interests as a continent? Options like BRICS, avenues, markets, diversification as well. Talk to us a little bit more about those possibilities or probabilities that is an offer.
We should actually take this as an opportunity for us in Africa, especially an opportunity first to accelerate our regional integration through the ACFTA, but also an opportunity to rethink our industrial development policy. Of course, we can't have an integrated market if we don't have anything to produce, to actually trade and exchange. So therefore, it's extremely important for us to take this as an opportunity to revisit the way we are running our industrialization. So within Africa, first, before to start even thinking about the BRICS, and then think as well about other regions like Southeast Asia, or the Asian, or also Latin America, and a little bit more integration maybe with European countries. So I don't see that just as a threat for us. Of course, there would be some tough decisions and some tough problems that we'll face, but I think it's absolutely an absolute opportunity for us to really accelerate our industrial independence, our industrial autonomy, and we have actually what it needs, what it takes to reach to this industrial independence. First, we have what it takes in terms of raw material. We have as well the human capacity, but we need obviously to accelerate our investment, especially public investment this time, not only private sector, investment in infrastructures, transport, electrification, those are key.
Yeah. So what are those timelines then looking like at this point, particularly as the most vulnerable are affected? I'm also asking this because we're looking at continued calls for reform of global financial architecture, the governance system, interests, aspirations as well. And I wonder, given the decisions that have been made or imposed from America, what impact this has on multilateralism and cooperation at large? Is it under threat? It seems like there's a move towards protectionism, nationalism as well. What are the dangers of that for this world order as we speak?
I think Actually, is multilateralism under threat? There will be a reform of multilateralism, definitely. President Trump is pushing toward a world where actually we'll be back to protectionism, nationalism, but also bilateral relationship would be more important. However, it is not because one country is pushing toward that Africa must actually be falling into this trap. So we in this continent, what we are doing basically is to double down, accelerate on multilateralism, especially through the SCFTA, through various other mechanisms that the African Union is putting in place. But at the same time, we really started moving toward new partners globally, especially the BRICS. So multilateralism won't be dead, definitely. However, there will be more and more a time where we see bilateral relationship, especially bilateral relationship based on, I would say, relative power of each of the partner. That actually would be there. Now, that poses, of course, threats on the global economy. There will be recession, definitely. At least that's what most of the analysts are doing. There will be inflation as well, definitely. That would have a negative impact on jobs, especially in the most vulnerable countries. Now, the good news for Africa is that the US is not our only trading partner. It's not even the top trading partner. Our top trading partners are actually in Asia. So we should find a way now to integrate more, and that will come. When we see actually all the investments coming from China in Africa with regard to infrastructures, but you can see as well we are more and more in positive relationship with India, with Asian countries, and more recently as well, I think Europe as well may be rethinking its relationship, its diplomacy with Africa. So now, with regard the global financial architecture, I think time has come for this financial architecture to be reformed and to be restructured. It was actually unequal, it was unfair as of now, and with what's happening, we have an opportunity to force it to be reformed and to be restructured to our best interest in Africa. We should not actually miss this opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to thank you for speaking to how the importance of bilateral relations are coming to the fore, and even just mentioning, the possibilities and probabilities that are associated with the AFCFTA. Perhaps as we're also looking at this shifting geopolitical landscape, the trade wars, given the retaliations as well that we've seen in this week and overnight, from your vantage point, what is Trump trying to achieve? Global inflation is rising. There are talks about this global recession that's also coming. It's going to have an impact on the most vulnerable. But what is the impact of the USA-China relations on Africa from your vantage point?
Impact of the USA-China relation in Africa, I think, when there is a trade war, there is no winner at all. Everyone would be definitely losing. However, I think in the short, medium term, definitely that will help strengthening the relationship between Africa and China. Now, what Trump wants to achieve is not necessarily something against Africa. I think it's more like he's trying to bring back industries actually within America. But the global economy is so integrated, so interlinked, that I doubt that will actually lead to reindustrialization of the US, at least the industry as we know. What US have become, it become actually a service industry country, and this is where they have the biggest competitive advantage. They could have actually continued on to that direction, but he's trying to shift actually back to traditional industry. I don't think that they would be able to achieve that. Now, on the other side, for Africa, we have an opportunity. I think that our relationship with China, our relationship with ASEAN, our relationship even with Latin America and Europe and the rest of the world, we have a unique window of opportunity to strengthen that, so that actually we can claim back our economic independence. That's for me, it's an opportunity for us. It's not just something negative.
Okay, Amine, thank you for your time and thank you for weighing in at this hour. We'll leave the conversation there. Amine Idriss Adoum, African Union Development Agency NEPAD Director, this morning weighing in following the impact, of course, of the USA tariff imposition, the impact of global trade war developments on the continent, and really what's next as we navigate these uncharted waters.